Hey, welcome back. Today we're jumping into something called co-intelligence. It's a way of working with AI that honestly goes way beyond just typing in a few simple prompts. I'm going to give you a few simple rules and one really powerful habit that will totally change how you use this tech. So let's get right into it.
All right, so this is the big question, right? Now that pretty much everyone has access to AI, how do you actually stand out? The answer isn't some secret trick or a hidden prompt. It's about a complete shift in how you think about it.
And this is the big mindset shift. Stop treating AI like a calculator or a search engine and start thinking of it as your new sous chef. An incredibly talented partner in the kitchen who might be just a little bit quirky.
Okay, so if you're going to manage this new sous chef, you first have to understand it. What exactly is this alien mind? This large language model that's now on your team? And more importantly, what is its one single biggest flaw?
So, at its core, an LLM like ChatGPT isn't really thinking in the human sense. It's basically read the entire internet and learned to do one thing incredibly well: predict the next most likely word in a sentence. By doing that billions of times, it's built these super detailed maps of just about every topic imaginable.
And that brings us to the AI's Achilles heel. Because it's just predicting words and not truly understanding concepts, it can hallucinate. And what that means is it will confidently and very plausibly just make stuff up out of thin air.
You know, this analogy really just nails it. The AI doesn't double-check its sources, it just recalls what's on its vast internal map. So the description it gives you sounds perfect, it sounds vivid, but the facts underneath could be totally wrong.
So what's the takeaway here? Well, you can't just blindly trust this brilliant but flawed assistant. You have to manage it. You have to be the head chef. And lucky for us, there are 4 essential rules for doing it right.
Here they are, the 4 core principles. Seriously, think of this as your new management playbook for getting world-class results from your AI sous chef.
First things first, you gotta get your sous chef in the kitchen. The only way you're gonna figure out what it's good at is to use it all the time. Invite your LLM into every task, every problem, every single decision. You've got to find out where it's useless and, more excitingly, where it's surprisingly great. You will be amazed.
Rule number 2 is pretty simple, but absolutely crucial. You have to stay in the loop. Your AI sous chef knows what ingredients should taste good together based on a million recipes it's seen, but it can't actually taste the food. You are the head chef. You have to be the one to taste, to verify, and to be the final judge of quality.
All right, now for Rule 3. This is where things get really powerful. It's all about scale. If you ask a human colleague for a few ideas for, say, a new project name, you'll probably get maybe 3 solid options, which is totally fine. That's what we expect from a person.
But your AI sous chef is completely different. It never gets tired, it doesn't get annoyed if you ask for more, it has zero ego. So you can, and you absolutely should, push it to the extreme. So ask it for 50 headlines, 50 different analogies, 50 opening lines for an email. Why? Because the truly brilliant, the unexpected, game-changing ideas, they almost never show up in the first 5. They're waiting for you past all the generic stuff, out in the weird and wonderful territory.
Of course, you can't just type "give me 50 ideas" and expect gold. That brings us to Rule 4. You have to add creative constraints. Give it a persona to act as. Provide real context and documents from your project. Set specific limits. It's just like telling a chef who they're cooking for and what ingredients they're allowed to use.
So, how do you pull all 4 of these rules together into something you can actually use every day? Well, that's where the master recipe comes in, a really simple habit called 5 and 50. Here's how it works. For any important task, start with a quick, rough prompt. Then improve it at least 5 times, each time refining the character, adding more context, or tightening the constraints. Then, once you're getting good stuff, you pick a critical piece, like the headline, and push for 50 variations. Then you just ruthlessly pick the very best one.
And look, this is probably the most important thing to remember through all of this. The goal here isn't to automate your job away. It's to use this incredible new tool to amplify your own creativity and your own judgment. When you master these techniques, your role just fundamentally changes. You're not the one just chopping the vegetables anymore. You become the executive chef, directing a powerful assistant to create something far better than you ever could have alone.
So now you've got the recipe. The only question left is, what amazing thing are you and your new AI sous chef going to cook up first?